Okay, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. Crikey, I'm going to be putting the pictures up from the various newspapers today, being as that it's Monday, and apparently over 40 players have written to the tours for permission to go play in the first Saudi Big Bucks tournament, the Live Invitational, whatever it's actually called. £25 million is on the table for just that one event. Now, it's not clear if the players are even going to get permission to play from the tours, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, if there's 40 names and I'll show you the info there, you can look for yourself. There's big names now. But some of them play on the European Tour as well as the PGA Tour. So that complicates things, because if you play on both tours or are a member of both tours, do you have to get permission of both tours to play? And if you ask for permission to play, are they just giving it for one event, i.e. that one event, you've wrote and said, can I play in this event? Or are they giving you permission to play in all the events, i.e. the Saudi-backed Super League tour that they're trying to set up? Now, why am I going on about it? And why am I about the only one on YouTube harping on about the rights and wrongs of this? I virtually have no idea. Moral wise, and yeah, so this Saudi League thing is going to be very, very interesting as to, are they going to sign them off for permission to play? Are they going to potentially maybe do some sort of financial thing that says if we sign you out, then give you permission to play in the Saudi-backed things, you need to pay to get back into the tour? Controversial, but they might, you know. Or they might take the real hard stance and say, nope, we ain't signing you out. And if you do play, you're banned for life. It's certainly going to be an interesting thing. And for the European players, and I know a lot of them will say, oof, doesn't matter. But Justin Rose has come out, heart on sleeve, saying, nah, I'm going to stay where I am. I want to work on my history, history defining record, that type of thing. Also the fact that if you go and play in these events, you're pretty much barring yourself from playing in the Ryder Cup. They've made that perfectly clear. If you put yourself in that mix, you'll not be a Ryder Cup captain, vice captain. You might not even make the Ryder Cup team and play as a player because of the stance they issue with the whole human rights thing and sports washing. And it's a question now that a lot of the media has taken up, and you'll see by the cuts for the papers, they're talking about it. There's people really having a go at Sergio Garcia, saying that's the best thing that's ever happened because this wee mouthpiece will be off the PGA Tour for good and he'll be playing with the Saudis. Good riddance, that type of attitude coming out in the media, which is quite abhorrent. It's a bit vehement, a bit personal. But I suppose Sergio's teased himself up for stuff like that when, he says controversial stuff or loses his head or, takes his shoes off and belts them up the fairway. Or, he came out with a classic, he got a bad ruling. Oh, I can't wait to be away from this whatever, PGA, whatever he used. Then there's all the other crazy stuff he's done, like spitting in the whole cup and taking 40 shots to get out a bunker and going berserko like Captain Caveman in a bunker, swearing in Spanish for about 40 minutes and saying that the whole course is absolute crap. In fact, was that not actually on a Saudi-backed tour? I don't know. Middle East somewhere anyway. So, I don't know where you all stand on this. And I suppose you could be sitting going, well, it's their choice if they want to take the money. But where I stand with it is, if they're the ultimate sportsman, right? And you know, if you look at Lewis Hamilton and Anthony Joshua and that, they were very careful when this all broke, and you know, boxing went big there and Formula One. Those guys stood back a bit, and you know, I think as a sportsman, if you're appealing to the whole world, right, as like the, you know, ambassador, whatever you want to call it, maybe you should ask questions or look at, right, okay, before I really take all this money, where's it coming from, and what am I saying if I take the money? What is it, you know, do people not ask that question anymore? I don't know, you know. I suppose if you're that player and you think, well, I'll justify that. A few of the American players have said, well, I'm going to take the money because I fancy retiring when I'm 44. So that in itself could cause a problem for the senior tour if golfers just retire at 44 and then never go anywhere after that. And what have we got here? Like a gap between the PGA Tour and the European Tour, and then like senior tour. So we've got like a twilight tour before the senior tour. I don't know. And if you play in the twilight tour, Saudi tour, will you be banned from playing in the seniors tour? It's very confusing, but I wouldn't be surprised if the tours decided, right, we'll look at this on an event by event basis. Ah, yes. So let's take, for example, my opinion here. Oh, yes. So they're sitting down at their board meetings, whatever they're doing. Oh, yes. Mr. Lee Westwood would like authorization this month to play in the said event of the blah, 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 blah. Oh, yes. Let's take a vote on this. Yes. Show of hands. Right. Okay. We've given him permission. Okay. And when he rejoins, he needs to pay $50,000 per event that he plays in. Seems fair. Now, I'm not saying that the tours will do that, but it wouldn't surprise me, because the thing is, they'll not want older players jumping on the bandwagon of cash, or they won't have any players on the tour left, and they'll be on the other tour. So I think they'll go the defensive route. But we are all waiting with bated breath on them making this decision, because there's going to be some interesting discussions and comments about the decision making and what they've come up with. Stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. As always, all these channels for charity, Macmillan, Help the Heroes, Shelter UK. Thanks for your support. Oh, and a big shout out to Flossie Carter, who commented on one of my videos. Made my day. Over the moon. If you don't know who Flossie is, then clearly you're not into your tech. But he's an American, and he does phone and gadgets and audio stuff. Some character, brilliant guy. And I left a comment. Oh, I thought I was over the moon.